Hello, dear students. Today's topic is geographical position of English-speaking countries. The aim of our lecture is to consider the geographical position of the country and physical characteristic of a place. Objectives are to examine geographical location of English-speaking countries, to study each country's name, territory, symbol, population, climate, and to consider inland waters and mineral resources. The first country that we are going to study is Great Britain. United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. It is the official name of the country which is situated on the British Isles. The UK consists of four parts: England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Landscape of Great Britain. Great Britain is the name of the largest island of the British Isles. Geographically, it is divided into two main regions: Highland Britain in the north and west, and Lowland Britain in the east and south. Mountains. The Highlands of Scotland are among the oldest mountains in the world. The highest mountain is called Ben Nevis. It is 1,343 meters high. Wales. Wales is a highland part of old hard rocks. It is the country of mountains and deep valleys. Cambrians are situated there. Cambrian Mountains. The highest peak of the Cambrian Mountains is Snowdon. It is 1,085 meters high. The pride of Wales is Snowdonia, a region of high mountains. In the north of England, there are the Pennines. It is the largest mountain chain in Great Britain. The pride of England is Lake District, a very popular place for spending holidays. Lowlands. The southern and the eastern parts of England are called lowlands. Lowlands consist of vast plains and valleys. It has a mild climate. It is never very cold or very hot. There is steady rainfall most of the year. The country is washed by the Atlantic Ocean, the North Sea, the Irish Sea, the English Channel, and the Strait of Dover. Rivers. The chief rivers of Great Britain are the Severn, the Avon, the Thames, the Clyde. There are many lakes in Great Britain, such as Windermere, Ullswater, Coniston Water, etc. Time to self check. Choose the right sentence. Europe is the largest continent, or Asia is the largest continent. North America is bigger than Africa, or Africa is bigger than North America. The USA is bigger than the UK, or the UK is bigger than USA. Here you can check your answer. Another questionnaire. What river is longer? The Volga is the longest river, or the Nile is the longest river. The Amazon is longer than Mississippi, or not. The Volga is as long as the Mississippi, or the Amazon is as long as the Mississippi. Check your answer. Which mountain is higher? Everest is higher than Kilimanjaro. Elbrus is the highest mountain. Kilimanjaro is as high as Elbrus. Geography of the United States of America. The United States of America is also referred to as the United States, the USA, and the US, America, and the States in colloquial speech. It is situated in the central part of the continent of North America. The USA takes the fourth position after Russia, Canada, and China in size. The total area of the USA is over 9 million square kilometers. The USA can be divided into such big regions as New England, the Northeast, Great Lakes, the Midwest, known as Corn Belt, the South, and the West, with the vast areas of deserts. The Appalachian Mountains, the Rocky Mountains, which are called the backbone of the continent, Sierra Nevada in the west, and the Cordilleras in the east, form the highland region of the country. The Rocky Mountains house a lot of national parks. The highest peak in the USA is in Alaska. It is called Mount McKinley and it is 6,000 meters high. There are many rivers and lakes in the USA. The longest rivers are the Mississippi River, which is one of the longest rivers in the world, the Missouri, the tributary of the Mississippi, the Ohio, also the tributary of the Mississippi, the Columbia, which flows in the western part of the country, and the Colorado, which runs from the western part of the country through deep canyons to the southern part of the country. Geography of Canada. Geographically, Canada is ideally located to participate in the global economy of the 21st century. On the Pacific and Atlantic coastlines, Canada's transportation connections with Europe, Asia, and Latin America are well established. The ports of Prince Rupert and Vancouver are the closest major North American ports to China, South Korea, and Japan. Halifax is North America's closest harbor to Europe and is ice free year round. International airports in Vancouver, Halifax, and Newfoundland and Labrador open up connections to Asia and Europe. Together, these airports serve approximately 50 million passengers a year. By land, Canada is connected to one of the largest consumer markets in the world, the United States. Trucking and railway freight carriers transport millions of dollars worth of goods across the border every year. How do the physical characteristics of a place affect how people live? Landforms, bodies of water, soil, and mineral deposits can bring advantages, disadvantages, or both. For example, Prince Rupert, British Columbia, is in a mountainous area on the coast and has heavy rainfall, but also has abundant forests and access to the ocean. Nearly every human activity leaves its mark on the environment. The visible results of human activity are known as the cultural landscape. People affect the landscape in different ways. For example, in the Prince Rupert area, the Tsimshian First Nation removed bark from standing trees to make blankets, clothing, and fishing nets. The long term effect of this sustainable activity is that the trees survived and the forest stood for centuries. Later, as more people came to the area, the physical environment underwent dramatic alterations as the forest was cleared for timber and to build roads, ports, and buildings. Canada has a great variety of landscapes. Its mountains, plains, massive Canadian shelf, and northern lands made development a challenge. However, the lowlands, rivers, and valleys of southern Canada proved relatively easy to travel through and were therefore suitable for development. The physical geography of Canada is defined by the regions shown in the map. Each of these regions has very different geological features, landforms, climate, and vegetation. Each was formed by different geological processes. How did ice and snow shape Canada as we know it today? In Canada, about a million years ago, the climate became very cold. The amount of snow falling in Canada's north began to exceed the amount that melted in the spring. Eventually, the buildup of snow in the north reached 3 kilometers in depth. As the snow accumulated, weight and pressure turned it to ice. As even more snow fell and pressure increased, the ice began to move out from the center of the ice sheets, covering more and more of the land. At its greatest extent, the ice sheets, or continental glaciers, covered most of North America. As the ice sheets moved, they shaped the land. Pushing away the top level of soil, the ice scraped the large area down to bare rock creating the Canadian Shield. In some cases, the ice sheets deposits rocks and debris, leaving ridges called moraines. About 10,000 years ago, great amount of meltwater flowed, flooding the land, shaping valleys and ridges and filling low areas to form lakes. The Appalachian region lies between the St. Lawrence lowlands to the northwest and the Atlantic continental shelf to the east and southeast. Like other mountain regions, its terrain is a mosaic of uplands and lowlands, the characters, boundaries, and shapes of which reflect the complexity of rocks and structures. These were inherited from tectonic movements between 480 and 280 million years ago. Since then, denudation has removed several kilometers of rock, revealing once deeply buried structures. Shield proper covers 48% of Canada's land surface. Even if the Arctic Shield is excluded, the Canadian Shield forest lands remain the largest physiographic region in Canada, comprising 32% of the land surface. It is a vast, saucer-shaped region. The rim on its south, east, and northeast sides like that of a soup plate. The center is sedimentary rock basin, the southern fringe of which underlies the Hudson Bay lowland. Canada's Arctic lands are generally thought to lie north of the tree line and cover 2.6 million square kilometers. They include the Arctic coastal plains and Arctic lowlands, the Inuit region of the High Arctic, and parts of the Canadian Shield in Nunavut, northern Quebec, and Labrador. However, extensive areas of subarctic lands must also be recognized. Taken together, Canada's Arctic and subarctic lands comprise nearly 40–45% of Canada's land surface. St. Lawrence lowlands are between Lakes Huron, Erie, and Ontario and extend along the banks of the St. Lawrence River to Quebec City. This region was formed mainly by the retreating ice sheets that covered most of Canada during the last ice age. The ice sheets pushed soil from the shield onto the area where the lowlands are today. As the ice sheets melted, giant lakes formed, lakes much larger than today's Great Lakes. When the lakes drained to their present size, the old shoreline of the larger lakes remained as bluffs. Between the old shorelines and present lakes, fertile areas of well-drained sandy soils were left behind. These areas now make up the rich agricultural land around Lake Ontario and the St. Lawrence River. In Canada, the interior plain region stretches from the Canadian Shield to the Cordillera Mountains. The interior plains were formed as soils carried by rivers from the Canadian Shield were deposited at its edge. These deposits formed horizontal layers of sedimentary rock which became large areas of mostly flat land, rolling hills, and river valleys. The Cordillera region of Canada is made up of parallel mountain ranges separated by a series of plateaus, trenches, and valleys in British Columbia and the Yukon. This diverse landscape, which also includes dormant volcanoes, glaciers, and ice fields, is part of a vast chain of mountains that stretches from Alaska to Chile. The Rocky and Coast Mountain ranges, along with British Columbia's interior plateau, are the youngest landforms in Canada. This land area is only 40% of a sedimentary basin in the middle of the Canadian Shield, the remaining 60% of which lies beneath Hudson Bay and James Bay. Apart from the southern ridges in the northeast of the lowland, the bedrock terrain is completely masked by a mantle of glacial and marine sediments associated with the advance and retreat of ice during the last glaciation. Geographical position of Australia and New Zealand. The geography of Australia encompasses a wide variety of biogeographic regions, being the world's smallest continent but the sixth largest country in the world. The population of Australia is concentrated along the eastern and southeastern coasts. The geography of the country is extremely diverse, ranging from the snow capped mountains of the Australian Alps in Tasmania to large deserts, tropical and temperate forests. Neighboring countries include Indonesia, East Timor, and Papua New Guinea to the north, the Solomon Islands, Vanuatu, and the French dependency of New Caledonia to the east, and New Zealand to the southeast. Australia is a country, an island, and a continent. Australia claims an extensive exclusive economic zone of 8,148,250 square kilometers. This exclusive economic zone doesn't include the Australian Antarctic Territory. Australia has the largest area of ocean jurisdiction of any country on Earth. It has no land borders. The northernmost points of the country are the Cape York Peninsula of Queensland and the top end of the Northern Territory. Now you can see breathtaking views and picturesque places of Australia. These are pictures of some ranges of Australia, such as Hamersley, McDonnell, and Musgrave. Several rivers in Australia, such as Victoria River, Murchison, and Ashburton. Great Barrier Reef off the northeastern coast of Australia. The Eastern Highlands or Great Dividing Range. Climate. By far the largest part of Australia is desert or semi-arid. 40% of the landmass is covered by sand dunes. A total of 18% of Australia's mainland is desert. Only the southeast and southwest corners have a temperate climate and moderately fertile soil. The northern part of the country has a tropical climate. Part is tropical rainforest, part grasslands, and part desert. Now let's consider geographical position of New Zealand. New Zealand consists of two islands that are located south, east of Australia in the South Pacific. Both islands are well known for their beautiful scenery. There are active volcanoes, caves, deep glacial lakes, amazing fjords, and long sandy beaches. The majority of the people live on the North Island, mainly for its mild climate and economical potential, since the capital city, Wellington, as well as the largest city, Auckland, are also situated here. Auckland is the largest city in New Zealand, but it is the diversity of experiences in such close proximity that makes the region unique. From black sand beaches to amazing dining, rainforests to shopping, the Waitangi Treaty Ground and Kirikiri are great places to learn about New Zealand's history. Northland is well known for its magnificent native forests, including Waipoua, home of giant kauri tree, Tain Mauta. Western North Island visit the summit of snow-topped volcanic Mount Taranaki or explore national park that surrounds the mountain, or kayak or journey down to Huanguani River, New Zealand's longest navigable waterway. The Lower North Island is a great place for indulging your passions for fine wine, art, theatre, and creative cuisine. Soak up New Zealand's traditional and contemporary culture in the museums, galleries, and boutiques of the country's capital city, Wellington. Wairarapa offers a diverse experience for those who appreciate great wine and character accommodation. On the Kapiti coast, you'll find an island wildlife sanctuary, fantastic golf, and artisan food producers. The top of the South Island has exceptionally beautiful terrain with three national parks, the amazing Marlborough Sounds, and lots of warm sunshine. The region boasts some of the finest Sauvignon Blanc in the world and is popular for hiking, cycling, sea kayaking, sailing, and fishing. You'll also have many opportunities to improve your art collection. Glass artists, painters, potters, and sculptors welcome visitors into their studios. Canterbury's landscape is filled with green pastures and friendly country towns. The buzzing hub of the region, Christchurch, is a stylish modern city with a mix of interesting architecture and parks to relax in. Hanmer Springs is close by, boasting natural spa baths with stunning mountain views. Also, not far is Kaikoura, famous for its crayfish and whale watching safaris. Approximately 5 hours drive southwest is the spectacular Aoraki Mount Cook and National Park, where you'll find the tallest peak in New Zealand. You can helicopter, skydive, or hike over Fox and Franz Joseph glaciers, or take in their beauty from a short walk to their bases. Punakaiki's pancake rocks are a must see. Southern Links. Queenstown and Wanaka's world-famous beauty changes with every season. In winter, the mountains are alive with snowboarders and skiers. In spring and summer, adventures on offer range from golf and horse trekking to bungee jumping and jet boating. A scenic drive south takes you to Fiordland, where glacier-cut valleys, half filled with deep green water, cascading waterfalls, and dense forest, is only a bush walk or relaxing cruise away. Further south, central Otago is rich in history and famous for fine wine. Climate. New Zealand has a largely temperate climate, while the far north has subtropical weather during summer and inland alpine areas of the South Island can be as cold as minus 10 degrees in winter. Most of the country lies close to the coast, which means mild temperatures, moderate rainfall, and abundant sunshine.
Here you see list of required literature, as well as supplementary literature and internet sources for further learning. There are several questions for upcoming seminar class and one student's individual study assignment up to next week.